everybody, and welcome to Fawn of the Forest, the tarot channel for sweet, sensitive woodland creatures. It's nice to be back with you guys today. Today, we are doing a very special reading for those of you tuning in. Blocked, bothered, and bewildered. Why were you blocked? And how can you move forward in the best way possible? So I am going to spin the wheel in just a moment, and it will have you if you have a phone or you're watching this on your TV, you can take a screenshot once I spin the wheel, and whatever pile you land on, that's your pile. Or there will be 3 piles and you can choose intuitively which pile is drawing you for your specific situation. So without further ado, let's spin the wheel and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. Blocked, bothered, and bewildered. Let's try to figure out what is going on with you getting blocked. And we're not going to be doing reversal. Oh, 2 of Swords. There we go. 2 of Swords is a separation. Oops. The Hanged Man. And 7 of Swords. Wow. Okay, so I feel as though these cards are already telling a story. And remember that these readings are for entertainment purposes only. And may this reading be a spell that aligns you, pile number 1, with your brightest destiny and highest good. And so it is. Okay, this to me speaks to why the block is happening. We have a 2 of Swords. We have a decision, a separation. I don't think that this blocking came about lightly, if that makes sense. Not like they're like, I don't care about this person, block them. I think that this person might have struggled to come to this conclusion of moving forward with the block. And they were in a situation that they felt stuck in. With the Hanged Man here, it's kind of like I keep hearing my hand is getting forced. My hand is getting forced and I have no choice. The 7 of Wands is about protecting your position. So I'm tuning into the energy of the person who blocked you, if it's available. Again, entertainment purposes only. But I see that they felt their hands were tied and they felt like they had to defend their turf. They had to do something. I think I'm getting that they felt attacked by you. And whether that's true or not, I don't know. But they felt that you were encroaching on something that they felt they could not part with, that they didn't want to part with. And that could be a friend group. It could be their mental well-being. It could be another romantic interest I'm getting for some of you. But interesting, 2, 12, 7. Yeah, they felt like they had to just make this change. They had to go forward, and it wasn't a decision that they came to easily, if that makes life a little easier to know. It wasn't just like, I don't care. It was, I think they struggled to come to this decision. Let's continue with exploring. Four of Wands. Okay, so I feel like I'm getting more into you, pile number 1's energy with this next pull here. The Page of Pentacles is about, well, it's funny because this guy here, what is he, like a warthog? This is the Affirmators deck, by the way. I really like it because I love animals, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. That's why this is Fawn of the Forest. But it's kind of like, all right, I have to produce something tangible. I have to produce. For some of you, this connection was like trying to prove something, either to yourself or to others or to the world. Something around like, it's giving me the feeling of kind of like, and this might not literally be you, it's just the energy. It's giving me the energy of why don't I have a partner yet? Why don't I have some kind of romantic thing in my life yet? There's something wrong with me. It's your to-do list. You're like, normalcy. Can't I have something normal? And again, it might not literally be your situation, but trying to prove something tangible that you can procure or cultivate. And with the Six of Swords, sometimes it's the internet card is what I understand, but it's about like getting out, escaping. This connection was for you, pile number 1, rooted, I am seeing, in some kind of desire to escape discomfort. Now, not to say that that's the only reason you were into this person or you were connected to this person, but there was some level of avoidance happening here that I'm getting, that's like coming through pretty strongly with why you feel connected to this person. And Four of Wands is harmony. So this is also telling me like you're blindsided by this blockage. You are in fact blocked, bothered, and bewildered. And because you thought that everything was going fine. So you're like, what? What happened? And some of you are like, what did I do wrong? And I just want to say, I think that self-compassion in a situation like this cannot be overstated. The importance of self-compassion in a situation like this. Some of you guys are going to blame yourselves and be like, and it's possible that you did, I'm getting inadvertently it's possible that you like stepped on some toes or something. That's what I'm getting here, because I'm getting this like back off energy from them with the Seven of Wands. I mean, literally, he's like, back off, look at him. And the thing is that, okay, this is interesting because I'm getting another like read here. Some people just cannot have closeness. And you would be surprised, but maybe you wouldn't be. You would be surprised at how little closeness, like to you, this is like a 1 out of 10 getting close to someone. But for them, it's like an 11 out of 10. They're like, whoa. And this has to do with like, their personality, their attachment, their history, their temperament, all these different factors that you have no control over. So for what feels totally comfortable and cool as a cucumber for you feels like a threat to them. And that's also quite interesting, honestly, to me. Because while you saw escape and getting out of a situation, they saw like stuckness. And while you were like, all right, like I'm going to make something out of this connection. I'm going to do something with it. They were like, do I even want, they were caught up in their head because the swords are like mental energy. And did you see this guy? I like his little face here, the little alligator or whatever. He's like, I don't know. He has that look on his face. He's, and there's like storm clouds around him. Like, they were put into, they're just in a very different energetic space than you are. And you're like, collaboration, let's make something happen. Let's do this. Not to say it's completely rooted in the healthiest thing, but you were like, you wanted a different outcome and they weren't even sure if they wanted to play the game, basically. Or like, yeah, they're on some other trip is what I'm saying. They're on another trip. So let's get some more clarification if there is any available to us. Here. A lot of swords, a lot of thinking here. And then we have a page of wands. Okay, so this to me, and this will kind of wrap up your reading a little bit too. With the page of wands, I'm going to go with that first here because I see that as you, and this pull, this third pull to me is speaking to how you don't want to get discouraged by this experience. And I know like some of you are going to be discouraged. Getting blocked is not a fun experience, right? But I don't think that, it's like, don't let this turn you petty. because the Five of Swords is like a petty card. It's like a victory at like any cost. And some of you watching might be like, well, I'm going to get them back for this or whatever. I'm going to show them. And it might not even be like, I'm going to hurt them. And I truly hope you're not going to hurt anybody. But I mean, I don't get that like actual hurting. It's more like, I'm going to show them that they effed up. And like, okay, maybe you will, you know, but I just don't think that you're going to get there if your energy is in this Five of Swords. Like, I'll show them, you know, like a kind of vengeful thing. Like, I'll just show them what they missed out on. It's possible that they will see what they missed out on. The Four of Swords is like, so yeah, your feelings are hurt. You're recovering, you're recuperating. I'm getting the song. Some of you guys are going to hate me for this, but I'm getting the song Bad Blood. By Taylor Swift, and I'm thinking specifically of her music video where it's like she's a damaged robot or something and she has to go in and like get like fixed. And I think you guys are gonna need some time to lick your wounds, and I think that these cards are saying take your time to do that. Like, feel bad about it. I know I say this in like lots of other readings, but if we let ourselves feel our emotions and let our emotions work through us as opposed to like resisting them, burying them, submarining them, a lot of these emotions that we spend like years and years running from, if we let ourselves truly feel them, like they'll peak in like 90 seconds. I'm not even kidding. 90 seconds is what the research shows. Okay, give yourself 10 minutes then, you know, like 5 to 10 minutes max. But if you let yourself feel it, let yourself cry, let yourself be like, what the F? Don't try to be brave. Don't try to put on a brave face. If you're like, well, I'm fine, you know. Your sensitivity is not a bad thing. And I think that this is also like, with these swords coming up, it's like maybe do some self-reflection on like, because like I was saying earlier, there might have been something that you were trying to like avoid with this connection by like having this connection, something in your life that you were trying to avoid, whether it's like a view of yourself that you don't find flattering, or loneliness, or feeling left behind. Really focus on that. Focus on that, because that's what got you into this situation in the first place. And some of you are going to be like, oh, no, you know, that's not true for me. And maybe it's not true for you. This is just what's coming through. And if you don't resonate with this reading, you can check out some of my other ones, or check out pile number 2 or 3. But I do see you finding your mojo again. I see you, and I see you kind of realizing like, you know what, it wasn't really me. It wasn't just me, you know, like, yeah, it's possible that I like triggered this person, and only you can say if like this was coming from a negative place or not. I'm assuming the good in you watching this, and I'm assuming you didn't like mean to trigger somebody. It's just that you guys have like very different temperaments, and your desire to, like with the Six of Swords, like your desire to avoid whatever it is that you're trying to avoid with this connection, like, oh gosh, I just lost what it was. Oh, it led you into this situation. And I see a possible repeat unless you deal with the underlying reasons. I see a kind of stuckness, like you would become stuck. And it's possible that if this person went through something like that, you know what I'm saying? Is also avoiding, and you know, there's like avoidance here, a lot of avoidance here in this spread. And it's like reflecting back on your connection, like attracts like. So even if you were like, oh, this person's not avoidant, there was something that you were avoiding that caused you to like attract an avoidant person, if that makes sense. It's like attracts like. It's like the law of attraction. So really work through that stuff with you. But I do see you finding your groove again and feeling better. And just like the real warning that's coming through for me, not like warning, but like advice is coming through, is like, just like keep on trying to connect, keep on bettering yourself and understanding and healing yourself. But don't let that, you know, also stop you from like connecting. There could be some connections in the future that like are very healing too, but you also have to like do the work now of healing yourself. So, and I see you like, you know, this grasshopper, it like reminds me of that, like, not a nursery rhyme, but like a story about like the grasshopper who sang all summer. But I mean, I don't see that as a bad thing necessarily. I see it as like it's once again, it's that suggestion, like, don't be the grasshopper that sang all summer. Be the grasshopper that like did the inner work and did the self-reflection and let themselves feel the feelings. And then you can enjoy and rejoice in these connections that can bring you a lot. So I hope that was helpful for you, pile number one. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked that, please be sure to like and subscribe. This has been Fawn of the Forest, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Bye. Hello, pile number two. Welcome to your reading, Blocked, Bothered, and Bewildered. If you're watching this, I assume that it's because you have been through a blocking situation and you want to get some results, or not some results, results, some answers, some clarity, and that's what I'm here to do. So let's just get right into it and let this reading be a spell that aligns pile number two with their brightest destiny and highest good. And so it is. Remember, you create your future, not tarot, but tarot can be a great tool to help you shape your future. So let's see what we got here. Oh, the moon. All right. Okay, so I'm trying to tap into the energy that I'm able to read for the person who blocked you. Interesting. Honestly, oh gosh. Okay, not to sound alarming. I'm just like, ooh, I'm just downloading a lot of information here. So, the moon says that there was some deception going on here. I don't know, I don't want to say how bad it was. I don't want to say how deep it ran, but I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm seeing somebody like who has a kid or something, or got somebody pregnant. And this might not be literal, but it's like this person already has commitments, basically. And you see how this guy is like karate chopping. What is this? Is that a raccoon or is that like a bandicoot? I don't know. You tell me. It's somebody who has like a whole life, and possibly a commitment or something like that. And they saw this connection with you as more of like an escape from family life is what I'm seeing. An escape from family. These people be lying and stuff. Not to say literally your situation, but I'm getting some just dishonesty, and I'm getting like that it's like they wanted to feel like alive or something. With the Ace of Wands, that to me, I mean, and there's a rabbit here too, which is like, okay, sometimes the Ace of Wands can be a pregnancy card. And rabbits breed a lot, and I don't know if this person has a kid or hasn't told you that they have a kid, or they got somebody pregnant or whatever, like they are pregnant. I don't know, but there's something going on here, and they're not being fully honest about it with the moon. Although I think this picture of the moon is like so very pretty, and I think that I'm getting that you were like dazzled by this person. They're good at dazzling. And they're good at like positioning themselves to look attractive. Like they have discipline, that they're responsible. And maybe there is some truth in that, I mean, well, if they're lying to you, that's not so true. But they have areas of their life where they can appear that way. And you got a little bit dazzled by that. So let's pull some more cards for you and your energy and how it combines with. Oh, you guys are sad, of course. You guys are blocked, bothered, and bewildered. The name of the thing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you guys are feeling really sad. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the Three of Swords is like the heartbreak card. The Ten of Wands is like a burden. And the Ace of Cups is like, well, it's got that little heart dragon. It's kind of like you went into this, I see, with like pure intentions, and I just don't necessarily see that person met you there, which is not your fault, The Ten of Wands is kind of interesting because I feel like there's a part of you that knows that this connection would have burdened you in some way, even if it went forward. But it's kind of like, it's like that Amy Mann song where she goes like, you got what you want, but you can hardly stand it though. And I'm seeing that you recognize like, yeah, I really like this person. I'm very sad. I'm heartbroken. And I had high hopes and I had expectations and I came into this with a pure of heart. But it seems that there was something about this person that you knew you were going to have to struggle with. And I'm just hearing the words, I'm used to struggle. I'm used to struggle, which is interesting. This was you choosing somebody out of kind of like the wound as opposed to like the healed wound. That makes sense? Or like there was something where you were like trying to work out some kind of past wound that you could not fix, maybe in your childhood or teen years, whatever it was. And this person triggered something in you where it was like, oh, okay, like, and it's not the real you. It's like the compulsive trauma you, where this person triggered something and it was like, well, I can right all the wrongs of my past and show that I really do have worth if I can make this happen. And so you're feeling really bad. And I get that you're like down on yourself and thinking it's because of me, it's because of me. It was you're like, your thinking is not helping you right now, because I get a lot of self-blame. However, I think that you tend to spend a lot of time in your head, and the 10 of Wands next to the 3 of Swords tells me maybe you should get into your body more and feel more. Because if you listen to your feelings instead of your head, you would really get in touch with something about this person who blocked you or, removed you that really wouldn't work for you. And that would be like very difficult, honestly. And you're already aware of this, or you might, I'm getting that you're already aware of it. I could be wrong. And if this reading doesn't resonate with you, feel free to, pick another pile. What you need to do, I think, is like get in touch with your feelings, get in touch with your body, because your feelings are data, and your feelings will tell you when you're not comfortable and when something is not working well for you. So, let's see what else. Yeah. I get that you guys want to have some kind of connection with somebody, and yeah. Okay, Knight of Cups. That's good. Ace of Swords. 4 of Cups. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, okay. So I think that, this third pull is like what you guys need to know moving forward. And just know, there is a moving forward. I see you, it's possible that for some of you, oh, this is so interesting. Okay. It's possible that for some of you, you already know somebody who's interested in you, but it just hasn't made that connection yet. With the Knight of Cups, sometimes that is a person who wants to have like a beautiful experience. That might be you as well. I see that you're coming into this with a lot of heart, and you kind of love, and I think with this Ace of Swords, it's like, be wise though, like the owl. Be wise. And, I need clarification on this 4 of Cups, because I just feel like I do. There's something really interesting. Another knight. Interesting. Okay, so knights are on a mission. And I think that your mission might be love. And missions are good things. This beaver knight, beavers can build, and they can create tangible things in the world, and they do a really good job of it. And I'm in awe of beavers, honestly. I think beavers are amazing. The thing is, like, we don't want this blockage, whatever, to like scuttle you. And I can see with this 3 of Swords down here that, like, yeah, you're not feeling good about it. And I think let yourself feel how you feel. Don't judge yourself. Don't try to stuff the feelings. I say this all the time. I just said it in the pile number 1 reading. But there's something that you're overlooking, honestly. With this 4 of Cups, it's like boredom. And also, I feel like with the 4 of Cups, it's like, oh, you have all this, with this, it's like you have all this on the offer. You have, this cup is filled with gems and stars and sparkles and things, good things. But all that this flamingo can focus on is the cups that have spilled. And there's 3 cups, kind of like the 3 of Swords, right? So it's kind of like the crying over spilled milk cup, when like there's somebody else, and maybe that's you, but there are people around you who are able to connect with you. And maybe not necessarily romantically at this moment, but there are people who want to connect with you. And I'm getting that it's important for you to do some thinking and maybe some journaling, because the Swords is about like verbal, mental, intellectual, of like, not to take away that you should treasure feelings. I think you should write about your feelings and feel your feelings, and then maybe do some reflection or writing or talking to a friend about them. Because the crying over spilled milk card shows me that you're just gonna get wrapped up in your like disappointment. But it doesn't want you to stay there. It's saying, you know what, keep on building, keep on being open, keep your heart open to new experiences. I think for a lot of you, I would hope almost 100% of you, if not 100% of you, deserve or want honesty in a relationship or some kind of connection, even a friendship. And just because someone couldn't meet you there or had weird motives and things like that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. And it doesn't mean that there's nobody else out there. There's clearly like people. The Knights can be actual people. But it's, it's coming with a suggestion / warning of like, don't like get so consumed in your disappointment about this that you're just like, I'm going to cut off everybody. Because there are people around you, and you are a person too who has a lot to offer and a lot to give and a lot to learn and experience in terms of like interpersonal relationships. So this block is just like, honestly, for some of you, I'm getting that you're going to be like, at some point in the not too far future, you'd be like, oh, thank God that didn't work out. Like, honestly. And I understand that now you're like, what? I can't. But it's like, at some point you're going to be like, oh, thank God. Because that would have made me miserable. A miserable 10 of Wands. And I don't need someone who's playing games and being shady. I don't need somebody like that darkening my doorstep. And so, yeah, if you change your perspective, if you grieve what this loss is and you change your perspective, and then you also look at like, I bring a lot to the table. Not in a like narcissistic, like I'm the best, so you guys just need to count out. Like, I'm so tired of hearing people be like, I'm the best ever, so you guys, like that's not good either, guys, obviously. So hopefully you're not doing that, but just be like, yeah, I'm secure. I bring a lot to the table, and trust your feelings more. Trust your feelings and like articulate your feelings to yourself, because I think there's a disconnect for some of you where you feel stuff and you're like, oh, that feels weird. But you don't articulate it to yourself. You're not putting words, and the Sword is about words, words to the feeling. And if you have trouble with naming your feelings, go online and look for like a feelings wheel, and you will see like all the feelings, and they're all grouped up, and it's really pretty rainbow wheel. If you need a little help like verbalizing that to yourself, we could all stand to be a little bit better at articulating our feelings to ourselves first and foremost. And that can only help you as you move forward in life. So I hope that this reading was helpful for you, pile number 2. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that, please be sure to like and subscribe. This has been Fawn of the Forest, and I look forward to seeing you in our next reading. Bye. Hello, pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. This is Blocked, Bothered, and Bewildered. So if you are blocked recently, or someone just removed themselves from your from your circle, or you're just like, what is going on? Why did this happen? Let's get into the cards and let's try to read the energy of what's happening in this situation so you can move forward with clarity and confidence. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. 5 of Cups. The past. Regrets. Okay, so there's these first 3 I pull to try to pick up on the energy that is, that is available to me from the person who blocked you, for lack of a better word. And before we move forward, these are for entertainment purposes only, and may this reading be a spell that aligns pile number 3 with their brightest destiny and highest good, and so it is. So interesting. They feel great, but it's like an empty greatness. That's what I'm saying. So don't get too happy, or don't get too sad, I guess, that they feel great, because it ain't perfect. I'll just say that. Okay. So, I mean, yes, 9 of Pentacles is like fulfillment, success, but it gets effed up because it's next to the 5 of Cups, which is about regrets. And then the Devil, which is like being dominated by a force outside of yourself, or unhappiness, addiction. This person goes through these cycles, and they have nothing to do with you, in case you're blaming yourself, which a lot of people do. But let me just put that out there now. This person goes through, honestly, I see it as kind of like an addictive cycle of some kind. And you kind of got caught up in the outskirts of it, so to speak. But it's like they like feel good. And oh man, if you've ever seen that movie, and it's a good movie, I recommend watching it if you like movies, The Talented Mr. Ripley. It's from like 1999. And there's this line where Gwyneth Paltrow is talking about Jude Law's character, who plays this guy named Dickie Greenleaf. And she's talking to Dickie's friend Tom, who is feeling bad because Dickie was really close with him, and then suddenly Dickie like dropped him and was like being friends with this other guy, Freddie. It's a good movie. I recommend it. But she talks to Tom, and she's like, Tom, that's the thing about Dickie, is that when Dickie puts his energy onto you and he like looks at you, it's like the sky opens up and the like sun comes out, and you just feel the like biggest, warmest warmth ever. But then he looks away and looks at something else, and it gets very, very cold. It's a beautiful line. And I'm getting that from this person's energy. This person runs hot and cold. And right now they're in a hot period of like, I can do whatever. I feel great. I feel awesome all the time. Good for them. All right, good for them. But it's like a Band-Aid over a darker thing going on, which is like the 5 of Cups, which is like regrets and just looking at the past and being like, why did I do that? Why? And they like do this, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm in this cycle again. But they're not at a place where they can fully articulate or recognize this cycle to themselves. It's so interesting. To some extent, I see like some mental health issues possibly with this person. And I'm not diagnosing, obviously, but I'm just seeing some kind of internal shift. This cycle that they just go through over and over again. And then people get caught up, and then they feel bad about it because like you're here watching this video right now, obviously, because you're not feeling the greatest. Let's get into some of your energy. Yeah, okay. So you liked them, obviously you liked them, or you wouldn't. Okay, so this is like, oh, Tower. The Tower is not a bad card. It's a card of needed change, necessary change. And the thing with the Tower, and I love this deck, it's the Affirmators deck in case anyone's interested. I love the little animals on them. The Tower is a structure that is built on a weak foundation. So you were like, I think it's really great. I really like this person. 2 of Cups. I feel connected. Look at these intertwined seahorses with their cups. And cups are emotion. You felt a connection with this person, of course. And yet so this is like, whoa, 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 what happened? I thought we had a stronger base than this. I thought we had a stronger foundation than this. Apparently not. It's kind of like, yeah, I mean, this guy looks like he literally had the rug pulled out from under him, and that's probably how a lot of you guys are feeling. And then we have the Five of Swords, which is like a petty card. It's pettiness. It's like a victory at any cost. So you might be feeling a little like vengeful, hopefully not in like an actual vengeful way, but more like, bitter, bitter, and like they got one over on you, and like that like wasn't cool. And I'm not saying how they acted is cool. I empathize with your feelings, but yeah, that's I feel like you guys were blindsided. Let's pull some more cards. I want to get some more. I just feel like there's more to this story, interestingly. Hanged Man. Four of Swords. Interesting. The nice thing about this deck is that there's no like naked women like on the Rider-Waite deck, so I don't have to worry about hiding those. I like that. So, okay. Yeah. You feel not great, obviously, because I think that you were like, I opened up to you. I made myself vulnerable to you, to this person who ghosted you or blocked you. And, I did that, and I did that with good intentions. I did it with, I kind of let myself fly without the safety net on, and you guys just like let me fall. And the Hanged Man, it's interesting because like, I feel like the Hanged Man suggests stuckness. And I think that leading up to this connection, you were feeling pretty stuck and you were feeling hurt. For some of you, it was a bad past experiences where you were like, I'm never going to love again. I won't trust anyone again. You cannot trust anybody. And then you were like, oh, this person came along and like got me to open up my trust door. And then look what they did. There's this comedian, Sam Kinison. He's long past now. He's been gone for a while, but he has this you should look him up if you like comedy. But he talks about how like in relationships, it's like somebody saying to him, don't worry, it's safe. Come on in, open the door. And then he's like, it was the door to hell. I'm getting kind of like that. Like, man, like you made me betray myself. I had my ideals and I wasn't going to do this. And you got me to trust and open up. And now here I am again. And then, I'm getting a lot of you are like, what the hell? Like, I thought that this person was legit. I was so guarded and careful. So why did this happen to me possibly again? And I feel for you guys. I mean, yeah, I think you guys are going to need some time to lick your wounds in time with the Hanged Man, because sometimes the Hanged Man to me can also represent like a shift in perspective of some kind, like looking at things differently. So, and I feel like I'm just like the tarot reader who quotes a bunch of movies, but oh well. Like I just saw like Wicked, like the second one, For Good, and how they kept saying that line about how like it's not lying or something, it's seeing things in a different way. And right now, though, you're in this point of like, you know what? I don't want to lie to myself like this. And I think you should, and I tell everybody this, feel your feelings, be disappointed, let the feeling move through you. Don't fight it. Because when you fight things, bad things happen. When you let it move through you, you can move forward and your nervous system can integrate the loss and the disappointment and you can move forward and heal. But if you fight it and you try to submerge it, it's not going to work. All right. So only through this, I feel like, it's like, yeah, you can't think your way out of this. This is like something you have to feel your way through. And that's a good thing. Through feeling your way through, I think you will come to realize, you will come to have a different perspective on this situation. I mean, to be honest, I don't see you being happy with somebody with that energy, Nine of Pentacles, but then like Five of Cups, Devil, like, like, I just don't think that this person has like what they call the basic equipment to have the type of connection that you wanted. And, but they might be really good at acting like they do. And people are good actors, I'll tell you that much. I'm sure y'all know. People are good at front loading. People are good at pretending. People are good at hiding they're crazy for the first 6 months or whatever it is. And you don't want to be in that type of situation, and you don't deserve to be in that type of situation. And, you know, I get the sense some of you guys fall really fast. And maybe that's your issue to some extent, is that you like go on a first date and you're like, I'm in love. And like, yeah, you're kind of joking, but you're also like, I kind of mean it. And I can relate. I've done that. But it takes that self-awareness. Like, you know what? Like, I do tend to fall quickly. I fall quickly. And so, you know, you have to be careful with your heart. You do. You know, I get sensitivity in you. I get like emotional life, like, you know, inner life in you. But you have to just be careful with your heart and know moving forward that you tend to fall quickly. Let's pull just some more cards just because I feel like this particular, you know, every pile is different, but this particular pile, Eight of Wands, seems to be kind of, yes, okay. So the Queen of Cups is you guys. And yeah, I think like the Queen of Cups is like, you are going to rebound from this. You don't want to get caught up in overthinking is the thing with the Nine of Swords. Like, this monkey is overthinking and it's eating him alive. And I think that the suggestion from Spirit, or the warning, whatever you want to call it, suggestion, advice that's coming through in this spread for you guys to move forward with clarity and confidence is recognize when you're overthinking it, you know, like, or blaming yourself. And I think it's like, do not blame yourself. Don't blame yourself. Like, honestly, I'm seeing that for some of you, and this might sound a little bit weird with the Eight of Wands, but it's kind of like you're going to kind of turn the page with this. And I mean, I know you're upset and all that, and you're hurt. And I think it's good if you turn the page, because like, obviously the situation isn't really going anywhere, or at least it doesn't look too positive at the moment. But I see you, okay, I see you kind of making a show of turning the page, but then being like, still like, I'm obsessing. And I think like with this Queen of Cups here, it's like you are going to get to a place where you feel better about this. And I think you'll just recognize like you're the queen, and this is like 5, and it's like you just have an emotional, I was saying like a minute ago, you have an emotional life, emotional depth, I would say, that this person was good at acting like they had that, but they don't have that. And, you know, it's really wild, you know, like people can study up, you know, all this information that's available to us online and all that about personality stuff, mental health, all that. It's so great because we can educate ourselves better and easier. We have that access. However, some people will use that to study up on how to act more like a human when they know that they don't have good intentions. I'm not saying this is necessarily the case with this person who blocked you, but yeah, I just don't think that you guys are on the same league in terms of like emotional intelligence or depth. And sooner or later that would have revealed itself. And I think you would have had a tower moment regardless. You know, I think you would have had a tower moment regardless. This just kind of cut you off at the stem, or whatever you want to call it. It saved you time, because for some of you watching, I just think that some of you would have just like hooked into this connection and stayed and stayed and stayed. You tend to fall quickly, some of you. So, and that wouldn't have been difficult. I mean, sorry, that like would have been difficult for you, because I don't think that this person can meet you where you need to be met. And if you're really honest with yourself, maybe there were signs that you wanted to ignore that they really couldn't meet you. But yeah, don't take it personally. And I think, you know, do some self-reflection or just some like journaling too on like, okay, yes, like how can I continue to cultivate my inner world, my emotional intelligence? But also like, you know, what does emotional intelligence look like from somebody else? Like, what do you look for in somebody else to show that they're emotionally intelligent and they have the depth? And I think that one thing that gets overlooked a lot in that question and answer is like consistency. Because, you know, some people are really good, like I said, front loading. They can come on really strong and they'd be like, oh yeah, like I'm great, dazzle, dazzle. But then like they can't back it up. Not for very long. Not for very long. So I hope that reading was helpful to you, pile number 3. If you enjoyed that, please be sure to like and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. This is Fawn of the Forest. I will see you in the next reading.